Hey everybody, welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays. It's your girl, Coach Crystal. If you are just joining us, we'd like to welcome you to the Steps and Stages community, and we would love to welcome you to our weekly series, Wisdom Wednesdays, where I have the distinct pleasure of talking to people who I love, admire, learn from, and want to share with you as you are on your pathway to taking the next step to the next stage of your life. Again, if you're just joining us, we have a little mantra that we like to welcome all of our community in with, and it just says a lot of things happen before this, and I guarantee a lot of things are going to happen after this, but I promise to be here with you now. Please be here with me now. Tonight, you are in for a treat. I mean, many of you know that I joke sometimes that I don't work out. I'm still working on like residual energy from 20 years as a professional dancer. But tonight we have not only the trainer, but the trainer God, Jay Lopez, here to talk about transformation. So will you please help me welcome to the Wisdom Wednesday family, Jay Lopez.
Glad to
Hey,
be here.
Jay.
What's going on?
I mean, it's good to have you here. I mean, I know that you probably have some people who rock with you all the time who might be tuning in,
Mhm.
and they might know that we were talking on your platform on IG Live a couple months back. But it's such a pleasure to have you here. We're going to talk about transformation tonight. We're going to talk about it from the inside out, right? And I just wanted to ask you first of all to go ahead and introduce yourself to the Steps and Stages family in your own words.
Hey everyone, I'm Jay Lopez, creator of the 90-day Body Transformations program. For the past 8 years, I've been specializing in helping entrepreneurs lose unwanted body fat and really just accomplish that ultimate look that they visualize. A lot of us have a certain goal in mind, or a lot of entrepreneurs visualize themselves being in better shape, but they don't really know how to get there. Well, I help my clients get there in 90 days or less without a bunch of time in the gym or any crazy starvation diets.
Wow. I mean, sounds like magic. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I
It's
mean,
been
people are
called
gonna be like,
sorcery. It's been
well,
called
people are gonna,
sorcery.
people, I mean, what kind of magic are you doing in 90 days that gets people to actually transform their body, right? Because we know
Mhm.
it's the beginning of the year. We already 45 days in, people have started and stopped multiple things. So
Right.
how do you get people to buy in and actually stay in the 90 days?
Vision.
I didn't tell him to say that, y'all. I didn't tell him to say that.
Vision.
Yeah.
Vision.
I mean,
They
I mean,
they
of course, I'm gonna agree.
yeah. They come to me with the vision, and if I see it, then we're on the same page.
Mhm.
I come up with the strategy. And for entrepreneurs, it just needs to make sense. When
Right,
I say
right.
make sense, doesn't have to be guaranteed make sense, but
Hmm.
they just have to believe that it can happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Jay, let's just narrow this down too for some
Mm.
people because some people are out there like, well, I mean, am I an entrepreneur? Can you work with me? What about my body? Like, what's your definition of the type of person your client avatar, right? When you say entrepreneur, the person that you know whose mind you connect with, whose vision you connect with, what type of person is that?
Mm. To me, entrepreneurship is just investment. That's
Hmm.
it. That makes you an entrepreneur. I would say there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of people that probably want to work with me and think that they can't.
Mm-hmm.
Because they see entrepreneur and unfortunately in their mind they're like, oh, I don't own a business. Like entrepreneurship is not business ownership.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is investment.
Mm-hmm.
Someone can own a business and without an entrepreneurship mindset, they will lose their business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So investment, but more specifically with 90-day transformations, I would say the majority of the clients are image and results based
Ooh.
entrepreneurs. What does that mean? Image based entrepreneurs understand that the success of their business that's truly determined by their image, and not just how others feel they look, but how they feel they look.
Right.
We have to be confident, and then
Mm-hmm.
results based entrepreneurs that understand that the success of their business is determined by who they deliver to, how much they deliver to, the value that they deliver. And with
Mm-hmm.
that, that's when it really comes to the belief system, the value you have in yourself, and then the energy and things like that. So that's what I would say.
Okay. All right. Now, I mean, I'm peppering you with questions, but I want to make sure that the audience knows who they're hearing from, right? Tell us a little
Mm.
bit about the backstory in how you became the trainer god, the body transformation coach, how you created the 90-day system. A little bit of backstory about the man, the myth, the legend.
So 2015, 2014, 2015, I quit my job for like the fifth time. Quit my job, threw my savings at this, gym opportunity as soon as I graduated personal training school. Um, and I ran myself into debt, had to go back to a 9 to 5. And then I found myself right back in the fitness industry. I was working at a gym, quit my job at a gym, quit my job at that gym. I was unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And I started a gym in my friend's garage. I had a couple dumbbells, a mat, and I think I spent that whole year just really isolated in this garage, just any clients that I could get. And I ran myself into the ground physically, mentally, ran myself into the ground. I remember I went to the doctor, told me I had high blood pressure, and it just
The
hit me.
personal trainer had high blood pressure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it hit me. I was real disappointed in myself, and it just hit me. Like you don't feel good. You don't feel that you look as good as you should. And I just gave myself that truth. And I shut my gym down for like 2 weeks. And I really just mapped out this routine. I gave myself 12 weeks. I really put myself on probation. I really locked back into my nutrition plan. And I think with me doing that for myself, I started doing that for my clients. I started holding them more accountable and things like that. And I remember the first true transformation that I had done. I mean, I had to move my gym. I had to move my garage gym. I went from having a decent amount of clients to just, cars down the street. So I had to move.
Mm-hmm.
So Trainer God, that was a nickname given by one of my clients. I ran with it,
Yeah.
and they nicknamed me that because I was able to get them really great results with, just a lot of people assume you got to have this whole gym thing. All I had was dumbbells, bands, kettlebells, the basics, and I was able to get my clients these amazing results with just basic equipment. So that's where the
In a
name came
garage.
from. In a garage. I
Right.
moved it from a garage to a basement,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I mean, I
that's
just want to
how.
make sure everybody out there is hearing this because this is not like, I mean, I think we hear a lot of stories about entrepreneurship. We
Mm,
hear a lot of stories on social media these days about, I had $2 left and then this happened, right? We hear the high and the low, but we don't hear the middle,
mm,
right? And that's the middle, right? The transformation happens in the middle, right? In the middle before you are really at the peak or in the valley. After rock bottom, there's a climb. And so I
right,
think what you just said was, listen, I had to take myself through it first. That's one. You and I know that there are a lot of coaches in tons of
mm,
different areas who don't, who haven't been through what they're trying to teach, right?
right,
So the information falls flat. That's one. You lived it and you kind of processed it along the way, so you know where the pitfalls are going to come mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Like
right,
I mean, if I was in your program, I'd be like, look, I'm tired, Jay. I mean, I look good enough. Right. I already know. I know right, but you know when those pitfalls are coming, so it allows
right.
you to push that person to the next level. So when you got to this position, Jay, what were the pitfalls you had to fight after? What was the next valley?
Mm, good question. Good question.
You know,
I would
Oprah's my
say,
spirit animal.
I would say that so as far as like being established as the coach that I am now,
Hmm.
I think one of the biggest pitfalls that I had to experience, and I'm thankful for it, was reaching back reaching back too soon when I wasn't fully established myself.
Okay.
Reaching back
Hmm.
too soon, wanting to help everyone.
Yeah.
And I tell, a lot of people, which I'm working on my book, I talk about this, but
Hmm.
it's just a major lesson for me. Understand that your blessing is your blessing,
Yeah.
and other people have to find their way. And I feel like that, that caring part of me wanted to reach back, wanted to help everyone, and it was a lesson I needed to learn, and I'm thankful for it because it's a lesson I'm not going to have to learn as I continue to reach higher levels. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. We just saw a clip of Michelle Obama saying the same thing, right? Like you can't
mm,
save people until you actually have enough,
right,
right? And enough is so relative. This is not about like a couple meals at McDonald's, right? When you become an entrepreneur, you become the person who outgrows the family structure you're in.
right.
People automatically believe that there's something bigger about you, whether you have the excess or the enough that they need in anyway.
Yeah. Not only that, I think when your coach is like, when your coach is running ads on you, like, hey, this coach was successful with this, this, and this.
Right.
People see 5 figure, 6 figure. People see that, and in their mind, they picture endless possibilities, and I'm like, y'all don't
Mm,
even know what it's like to make that and take it and throw it right back in the business. Like
exactly.
you don't
Exactly.
understand
Right.
what that's like.
Right. 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 Right.
Um,
No.
but yeah, that's I would say that's really like the biggest challenge.
Yeah. 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 But I think it goes back into what you were saying about entrepreneurship, right? I believe entrepreneurs are people, whether they own a business or not, who can take information about themselves, about their past, and constantly innovate on who they're becoming,
Right.
right? That's the iteration process. In your time of iterating the 90-day body transformation, how long were you in the lab? I mean, how many different type of mixes did this take before you found the exact system?
Hmm. You asked all the right questions. You asked like, host of the year. Okay, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And I sent you a
Um,
mug. Y'all see that mug he drinking out of?
Listen,
Okay.
I'm gonna make a post about you tomorrow, but be like Crystal. Be like
Okay.
this.
We love our
Not that
guests.
mm, I would really say it took me really that first year because I didn't officially launch 90 Day Transformations until 2019.
Okay.
So 2017, that first year in business, I was just more so training than
Mm-hmm.
I created 90 Day Transformations, or at the time just a 12-week coaching program. I
Right.
started structuring it as a 12-week program.
Mm-hmm.
So from 2018, 2019, I hadn't even officially launched it. I was really what I would consider like underground. I was getting these amazing transformations. I hadn't come up with a name or anything, but I didn't officially launch till 2019. And what my program is now is not what it was. Like
Mm.
every change I've made to the program, every upgrade has been because of me wanting to find a solution to a problem.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I think that's key for transformation as well, because a lot of times entrepreneurs run into problems in business, and they either back down from that problem. But to me, entrepreneurship is understanding that if you run into a problem, that's an opportunity. You run into a problem, that's an opportunity.
Right.
That's
Right.
not a sign to turn back.
Mm-hmm.
That is an opportunity for you to do one thing that we are all, if you say you're an entrepreneur, as an
Yeah.
opportunity to do one thing that all entrepreneurs do, which is problem solve.
Right. Right.
So, where my program is now, I literally just made another change today. I give you an example. The change I made today was that I have a couple clients that messaged me like, "Hey, I ordered some new gym equipment that you recommended.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered the gym equipment that you recommended. Excuse me. Do I need to email you?" And I'm like, man, it would be nice if my members could just update me on what gym equipment they have so I could literally see it and then make changes to the training plan. So I had to call my team like, hey, can we create something in the members area where members can just, when they join, there's something that they can literally submit pictures of their new equipment? They're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, done. It's just that simple tweak,
Yeah.
one of 100 tweaks I've had to make, one of a
Right.
hundred upgrades, to the business. So, yeah, hope that answers that.
Yeah, of course. But I also think what you're saying also is really another part that people might not be piecing together here is that there is a program,
Mhm.
but there's also the accountability piece on the other side,
Right.
right? These people are no longer, this program is no longer them coming to a garage to meet you,
Mhm.
right? So these are people that this is a very, I want people to understand this because a lot of times when we have the ideas in our mind, it has, a 3-story building with $1 million lease and all these
Mhm.
things that feel
Mhm.
like barriers, but that is
Right.
not necessary to get the work done.
I will say the biggest thing with what I've accomplished and I
Mhm.
continue to accomplish has been like my belief system.
Yeah.
Like my belief system. Even now, I remember I was catching an Uber like a month ago, and this guy was just, you look, you're in shape. Are you a coach? I'm like, yeah. He's like, who do you coach? Women. Oh, great. What type of clients? Female entrepreneurs, CEOs.
Hmm.
He's like, man, in his mind, he's like, what gym do you work at? Lifetime? And I'm like,
Yeah.
online. And he's like, you coach women online? How does that work? And I'm like, I provide them with what they need, coaching. And he's like, people pay you for that? And in my mind, it was so funny, but it just reminded me
Yeah.
that you really do have to protect. You got to protect your vision. You got to
Yes.
protect your belief. And I didn't regret having this conversation with this guy. It was just
No.
another confirmation. It was just
Yeah.
like, man, you you're in your mind, you're like, there's no way someone would pay, would pay me for that, let alone there's no way that it's not even possible to coach
Hmm.
someone online. And
Hmm.
I'm like, man, all my clients are online and they get the
Yeah.
best coaching, you know?
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? The gap. So you said before, right?
Hmm.
Entrepreneurs solve problems. That's called innovation, right? When we
Hmm.
find a problem, we want to innovate on the system we're building.
Right.
But many times when people have a vision and someone asks them a question, they think the question is a no of like, why are you? They don't take the question as an opportunity to clarify,
Right.
right? The
Right.
question is not oppositional. Sometimes the question is just, tell me more, right? But it's that internal shift that has to happen. Sorry. The thing you're saying we have to believe in, like it's the
Right.
belief that has to get bigger, not people's questions that have to get smaller. They don't have to understand.
Right. No, they don't have to understand.
Yeah.
They don't have to understand. Listen, I tell my family all the time, friends, whoever, I'm like, I still walk out to my living room and look at my ebook, my logo, and it makes me emotional sometimes because I'm like, I didn't see any of this. I didn't see
Hmm.
any of this back when I was stocking shelves at the warehouse and getting ready to quit my job. I didn't see any of this.
Yeah.
All I wanted was I wanted to leave that space and be in a space where I could coach people. That's all I wanted for myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
But then I felt like I could go for more. And I've
Yeah.
always felt like I could go for more. And when we talk about entrepreneurs understanding that we're problem solvers, some popular ones, Uber
Hmm.
solves a problem. It
Yeah.
solves a problem,
Yeah.
right? I use Instacart 3, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I might be cooking something like, oh, I need some. It's like if you can solve a problem,
Hmm.
doesn't matter how crazy it sounds,
No.
it's
No.
yours.
because everyone can't solve the problem, right? Like we get
Mhm.
really, we're I was saying this the other day, um, to Markwell, like, pandemic is one thing, but we've been in an infodemic, right? People
Mhm.
have just been bombarded with information, and
Right.
information, this is just what I believe, information without instruction leads to insecurity. So when you have too much information and you don't have someone with you to give you the instruction of how to use that information, and you haven't done the work to be clear on your own vision, then it's just piling on.
Right.
And every time you see something, you want to tell yourself you're less than because you don't know how to use it, but you don't even know what it's for.
Right.
Right? It's like someone, okay, full disclosure moment here. Okay, right? Okay, we've talked about my workout habits, which are not the best.
Mhm.
Okay, but I will buy a piece of something in a minute because I know how to use it and I know
Right.
what it will do. But will I use it? I got a whole home gym, right? Because as a dancer, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Let me get one of those. Let
Mhm.
me just go on and get right. But do I use it? No. The acquiring of something is very different than the implementation,
Right.
right?
It's and I say this all the time too. It's really that accountability. I told one of my assistants that assists me with my content. I told there's not even that I really need your assistance with shooting my content or anything that we do when it comes to getting it done. It's just the fact that I hire you to assist me. It's the accountability that I'm going to get it done during this time frame. And
Yeah,
I don't even think that she knew that. I'm like, I
yeah,
literally hire you for accountability. I appreciate everything you do when it
mhm,
comes to managing my content, but
right.
I know that if I don't invest into another human being to
Mhm,
be here at this time,
yeah,
it's just not going to get done. And a lot of people know that. It's like you got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself.
mhm,
If you don't invest, that information is just going to sit there. It's the same thing when it comes to like conferences. How many conferences are we do we attend and people will sit there and jot all this stuff down? I
mhm,
mean, and it's always the person with the sticky notes and the colorful sections, jot everything down, and guess what? They leave that conference and they put that notebook on their shelf,
right.
no execution
None,
whatsoever. So it's not
none.
the information. People, a lot of people think that, oh, if I just piece this info together, listen, it doesn't matter. you
It
you're
doesn't matter.
missing one key thing. You're missing that person that is going to stand behind you and like watch you take those steps and
Yeah,
say like, oh, keep going, or mm-mm.
yeah,
Wrong,
right.
no.
Right.
you
Because
know
whether we like it or not, that's how we've been created,
Mm,
right? I mean,
right.
whatever pros or cons we have about our education, our educational system, we have all been put in front of a person to instruct, to then implement, to then measure our knowledge, right? We get used to that system. So when we don't have it, it's really hard to implement for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with clients, I do have there are a few clients here in the city that if my schedule permits, I'll meet up with them.
Yeah.
And there are some clients that, I'll meet up with, and it may be on a same day, same time, same session that they're supposed to do. And it's crazy to me because it's like we're literally doing this same session for like the hundredth time, and I know that you don't need me, but it's like they're always looking for that. It's no different than teaching someone how to swim, and it's like, okay, it's time to do it on your own. They're still gonna look back at the coach like, we need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. We do. We do. We do. We do. Okay. Jay, we have a question each season that we ask our guests. Um, Last season, we asked a question about your willingness to surrender, right? And so this season, we're asking a question that comes from a Don DeLillo quote. And it says that the family is the cradle of misinformation. So tell us
Hmm.
some of, or one of the times, right, that your family may have been a tool for misinformation in your life and how you kind of got clear on
Hmm. First, first, I want to say thank God for healing,
that.
because thank God for healing. Thank God for healing, because thank God for healing. I
Yeah,
can think of a lot. Um,
right, right.
we were Me and my siblings were. we're raised to believe that
Uh-huh.
we could either serve in the military. This is what we're taught.
Yeah.
You serve in the military or go to college. You're just not going to make it in society. Entrepreneurship was not taught to us.
Hmm.
We weren't taught about entrepreneurship. We weren't taught about, what do you believe in? What are your goals? That's not what my household was. My household was, the economy is going this way, and you go to you're either smart enough, you're smart enough to go to the military or, get a job, but not even college, get a job at a warehouse and retire. That's what I
Hmm.
was taught. And misinformation.
Yeah. Hmm.
Misinformation
Yeah.
because yeah, they were completely wrong.
Yeah.
I remember I was about to get out of the military honorably, and one of my aunts, I called her to tell her, hey, I've served my time, my 4 years. It's been great, and her only reply was, "There's no jobs out here." It was the only reply, and I still remember her saying that, and I talk about that in my book, and I'm so thankful for that though because it's like now I what I do helps other people feed their families. I've created jobs doing what I do, like I created that. And I'm only saying that to say, um, misinformation. Just and,
Yeah.
and I don't and I had to learn that not to fault my family and friends for things that they
Yeah.
said. I had to learn not to fault them because a lot of them just didn't see any other way. They didn't know any other way,
Right. Exactly. Right.
you
No.
know?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, you're talking to you're talking to somebody who had a professional
Right,
dance career, and no, and their family was like, "What do you do?"
right. And I just want to say that too because I know a lot of times when entrepreneurs talk about the lack of support and things like
Yeah.
that, after going through it, I always tell even entrepreneurs that are beginning, like, listen, don't hold it against anybody.
No.
Don't now you do got some that want to see you fail. Not talking about them, but
Bless their heart.
you have some that just like they couldn't see it for you because they couldn't see it for themselves.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know,
Right.
I remember when I
Exactly.
started my gym in my garage. It was my friend's garage. It was my friend's garage. This
Hmm.
this was not my house. And it's funny because when I quit my job, I didn't tell him. I just think like the third day of him, coming downstairs, making his cereal, whatever, he's just like, "Yo, you off work this week?" And I'm just like, "Nah, not going back." And he's like, "What do like, how you gonna pay rent? How you gonna pay your half of the rent?" And I'm like, "I got it." I gave myself. I remember when I quit my job, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any money. I had my last $168,
Hmm.
and I gave myself. I said, "You know what? You got 30 days to get enough clients to replace the income you're making at the gym." That's how I saw it. I
Hmm.
didn't think anything past that. I said, hey, if you quit your job today, you got 30 days to network, whatever, get enough clients to replace the income you were making at the gym. And I wasn't making a lot of money anyway. That's why I was quitting.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when he was like, he didn't really talk me out of it or doubt me. He was just like, bro, like, are you sure you want to do that? And then I think, he saw that first client pop up, second client, and I remember this pivotal moment. I remember I came downstairs getting ready to train, and he was like in the garage, painting his own garage with chalk paint, like where you could actually write on the walls. And
Uh-huh.
in my mind, I'm like, all right, he's starting to like, okay, he
Yeah.
sees it. He,
That's a partner. We call them partners in believing over here. Right.
right, right.
Yeah.
And I have to interview him for my book, man. And I told him like, man, I'm forever indebted because you
Yeah.
believed in what I had going. So yeah.
Okay. Before we let you go,
Don't let
roadblocks.
me go. This good. We staying on the whole night. Let's run
You know,
it.
this is already past his bedtime, y'all. He gets me up early. I got him staying up late. Um, roadblocks to transformation, right?
Mm,
Because they show up in so many different ways, right? I
mm.
work a lot from the inside out. I mean, so do you, but people come for the outside result, right?
Right, right.
And so it's the same work, but we approach it in different ways. But when I'm asking someone for the first time, what would you love? right? And trying to help them really open their mind and their heart to create a vision, something that nobody's ever seen before, something that most people are going to think is risky, right? All those things. The resistance is huge,
Right.
right? When you were working with clients, where do you see the seeds of resistance come from?
I think a lot are, I think even through consulting, I'll be asking them, what do you want to accomplish? Where do you see yourself in 90 days? What are you truly wanting to step into?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I get, well, it'll be nice if I could lose 10 pounds, or it'll be nice. I didn't ask you what would be nice. I asked you, what do you want to step into?
Right,
What do you want to get to?
right.
Or, if someone says like, hey, it'd be nice to lose 10 pounds, or I need to lose 40. And I'm like, okay, cool. We can do that in 90 days.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're laughing like almost as if that's impossible. And I got a straight face. I'm like, it's what's funny.
Right.
But there's that. So it's a lot of times we are our own limitations because we're,
Mm-hmm.
but I think, but I learned that, a lot of times they only believe as far as they've been a lot of times
Yeah.
as well, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Then the other thing, the resistance is, I will tell you this, and you know this, there's gonna have to be a sacrifice. Not everyone around you is gonna be happy
Mm-hmm.
about your transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about this all the time, and it happens all the time. I've
Yeah.
seen I've seen the divorces, I've seen the breakups, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot that I don't talk about online when it comes to these body transformations.
Yeah.
But when you set the goal of becoming this better version of yourself, you're going to have to break away. You're going to have to break away from a lot of your habits. You're going to have to break away from a lot of the people that only resonate with the person that you currently are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've seen the friends break up, everything. And a lot of
Yeah.
people don't want to get into that. And I always tell, clients like, okay, just letting you know, this is what
Yeah.
you can expect.
Right. Right.
Don't turn away.
Right. Right. But again, when you brought up vision earlier about what keeps people staying the course, if
Mm,
they don't have a vision of really what they would love, they could easily get distracted by what feels like
right.
the loss of the relationship, the loss of the friendship, the loss of the circle, the loss of the opportunity, right? All of those little things that keep people comfortable are not actually keeping them complete. They're keeping them complacent.
Not only that, not only the vision, but the reason behind the vision,
Oh
the
yes. Okay.
why,
Bro, Steve,
the
this is amazing. Yes, go ahead. Go, go, go.
the reason, the why.
Mm-hmm.
I have I have my glass portrait of my mom that sits on my shelf,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a picture of my mom, me, I'm in her lap, and then my brother and sister were babies. And something that my brother, my sister, my family doesn't understand is that 2013, when I wrecked my car drunk driving, when I woke up in my car, I made my mom a promise, like in her death, like after
Mm-hmm.
death. I
Mm-hmm.
made her a promise that I would fix my life, I would become successful. That was a promise I made. It
Yeah.
wasn't about anyone else. So my why has pushed me. The vision, it keeps me going,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes that vision, sometimes that vision gets a little cloudy. Sometimes it
Uh-huh.
does.
Yeah.
If you don't remember your why,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that why is what's going to keep you going. And the why also, it gives me that unapologetic feeling of, hey, I understand that me becoming successful has, there's a little jealousy here, or I understand that becoming successful and doing this and making these types of sacrifices has made you feel I'm acting brand new, this and that. Guess what? I'm not prepared to disappoint myself. I'm not prepared to back away from my purpose or go back on the promise that I made to this person
Mm-hmm.
just to please you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So So before you get ready to truly step into that next level with 100% intention, you need to have a serious conversation with yourself and ask
Right.
why,
Right.
right?
Right.
There's the person that says, "Oh, it'd be nice, oh man, I want $1 million. I want to make $1 million."
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the person that says like, "I need to make $1 million for this, this, and like, what is your why?" It's the same thing with someone wanting to get in shape. Like, oh, people schedule calls and book consultations. I want to lose 20 pounds for this vacation. Yeah, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
It's a no,
Mm-hmm.
right? Versus, I need to lose this 20 pounds so that I can look and feel my most confident, so that I can finally launch that business I've been wanting to launch, so that I can feel my best when I enter these rooms, so that I can attract the best people and opportunities as a result of feeling my best. Like, listen, what is
Right.
your why? A
Right.
lot of times, and some people feel triggered by that. They feel rejected when I tell them like, yeah, you need to go do a little bit more digging, because
Yeah.
this why is, and they think it's like it's not a personal thing. I'm telling you that you're going to hit an obstacle on the way to reaching your goal, and this one little thing that you're telling me it's not good enough. It's
Yeah.
not going to make you push through.
No, 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 no. There's an amazing, so maybe you've heard me say this. I don't know. There's three people I really want to have lunch with:
Mm,
Oprah, Viola, and Iyanla.
mm,
So in Viola's book, Finding Me, she quotes Nietzsche. Nietzsche says, um, "When a person's why is strong enough, they will endure any type of how."
mm.
Right, and that's what you're getting at, right? Like,
Right.
if even if the vision doesn't have the why behind it, it's going to be cloudy and fall apart, right? And people are looking for external motivation, but it's exactly what you're saying about this commitment to your mother. It's about confidence, like keeping the agreements within, not the integrity and keeping the agreements with other people, right?
Right.
It's an internal agreement that can't be shifted, can't be bartered with, can't be bought, can't be broken, right? And when people have that intense connection to their why, to their motivation, to their vision, that's when we see success. That's when we see real transformation.
Right. Because that's what really keeps you going. It's like you got to understand what it's like having a vision for yourself, and investing everything into it and not even knowing if it's going to happen. Not
Mm.
even know, not like a lot. Let's talk about that. Like, not even knowing. We were just talking about, I think it was David Shan's podcast,
Yeah.
and he just shared a clip of someone, and then I commented on there, and I just said like a lot of people don't understand. A lot of family, it's like they sat back and they watched, they sat back and didn't support nothing, and then it's like, now that I made it, it's like you guys feel some entitlement, or you feel like you're kind of responsible. It's like, no, like, or you think, oh, it must be nice, or I've had to hear that, you must be nice, or you got it easy. Like, y'all don't know what it's
Mm-hmm.
like. I'm almost a decade into entrepreneurship, like
Right.
literally 10 years. Like,
Right.
tell me something.
Right.
Tell me if you know what that's like, throwing
Right.
everything into something, and it's like you still don't get it. There's no guarantee.
Right.
None of this stuff was guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
But the why, the why is going to keep you going, because every level that I've reached, every level of success, every accomplishment, it has not, it didn't happen under the convenient circumstances. It
Right.
happened under the most inconvenient, just, every single big break, every accomplishment, it happened right after I got knocked down in
Mm-hmm.
the worst way. I mean, like, knocked down out of your resources. That, this person said they were going to do that, and they folded, or you thought you had this happen. And that's the truth. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't want to, they either don't believe it, or they don't want to agree, because it's
Or they
like,
don't
just
want to
like,
endure. They don't want to endure. I mean, look, there's some things. I'm look. I mean, I'm scared of you. I'm just look. That's. I don't know if I could endure the workout. I'd be like, "Oh, Jay, wait a minute."
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I love that. I love
I'm
that.
just saying that's real life, right? Some
No,
people,
it's not. So here's the thing.
people know what
Here's the thing.
people think they know what they can endure, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's you know
No,
what I'm
no,
saying.
but this needs to be said though, because
Go ahead, go ahead.
there's a business gem in this as well.
Uh huh.
The results look intense, right? The result, these transformations,
Mhm.
they looking at the transformation, you would assume like, man, this person probably had to do, super strict diet and work out
Uh
every
huh.
day. But let me tell you the secret sauce to the 90-day transformations.
Y'all
It's
better listen
not
up.
the secret sauce is that I help them find this space of calm. It's really this space of calm. I'm a
Mhm.
very compassionate person. Like at first glance, someone probably looks, trainer guy, tattoos, and it's just like y'all don't even know that
Right,
all my
right.
program is like the most red table talk. I got 15 female clients on a call, and I'm just like, how do you feel? Yeah,
Uh
how
huh.
was this week? Let's talk, like that's the secret sauce is is the conversations.
Mhm.
It-
Mhm. Mhm.
because they come to me with the, I'm stressed and like, okay, look, let's
Right. 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 Right.
calm down, and
Yeah.
that's it, right?
Yeah.
But finding that space of calm,
Yeah. Yeah.
learning how to manage your emotions,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
the external things, there will always be some form of chaos externally, right?
Always. Yeah.
Always.
Always.
But if you can control your breathing and you can control your thoughts and your movement and you can keep that at a moderate speed,
Mhm.
the body will the body will transform into whatever you want it to transform into.
Listen, I'm over here. I mean, I'm halfway done. I'm giving an example. I like to make myself the example so other people don't have to put their stuff out on Front Street, right? But as like a retired dancer, I just be like, do
You're
I really
not
want?
retired because nah,
I
you
be
not.
like, do I want to work that hard? Can I just look like it?
It's the most calm. I promise you, it's the most
Oh my god! I'm gonna
calm
do it.
thing
I'm gonna do it.
ever.
I'm gonna get myself together. I'm gonna do it, y'all. Okay, I'm saying it out loud. By the end of the year. By the end of the year, I might submit myself to the trainer god. We'll
Let me
prove it
tell
to
you something. I love entrepreneurs. I love
you.
entrepreneurs. I
Saying.
love entrepreneurs. I love working with entrepreneurs because they come to me thinking like, man, this is like flight school or something. I'm like, no, you literally possess everything that you need to transform.
Mhm.
You just don't know it yet. If
Oh,
you're an
oh, I,
entrepreneur,
I know it.
self-motivation, consistency, discipline.
I know it. I know I got it. I just be like, oh, do I want to do it? I'm about to hit. This year we're gonna be 45. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I need to do it? Oh my God, Jay. Okay, listen, it's been amazing having you. I can't wait till
Likewise.
you're finished with this book project. I love to
Mhm.
read it. For everybody out there, if you missed the launch of our book, Steps and Stories, 30 Days of Growth with Grace, don't miss it. It is now available at every major retailer. It's published by Trilogy Books. You can find it online in Barnes and Noble, wherever you shop for your books. I'd love to hear what you think. It is a workbook. It is a devotional. So there's some reading, there's some writing, there's some growth involved. Again, thank you for joining us, Jay Lopez. I can't wait to talk to you again. I love this. I love talking about transformation with you. And I love the holistic way that you are transforming not only the bodies, but the minds of your clients. It is truly, it's a transformation. 90 days. I mean, in 90 days, it's magic.
90
He's a
days.
magician, y'all. The magician.
90
He's
days.
saying,
90 days.
once I take the magic potion, I'm gonna show y'all some pictures. Um, anything and oh, I'm sorry, I ran the clip, was written again. If you are ready to work with the trainer guy, Jay Lopez, if you are ready for a 90-day transformation, if you're a woman out there who feels like you don't have enough time, but you're really ready to make time for yourself, this is the person to do it with. Jump over to thetrainerguide.com and make sure that you keep us posted at Steps and Stages because we love to see the transformation.
So let me quick correction there. You're
Oh,
good. Trainerguide.com,
oh,
trainerguide.com, and
not the.
then no, not the. You're
Okay,
good.
we're good. No, no,
Trainerguide.com, and then my Instagram is the trainer guide.
great. We'll get that in posted below this video as well.
So you listen. You know I can't.
What? What you gonna say?
I gotta purchase like three of those books for you to give away to you. I got it. You know I got that back. Three.
Well, we'll give them to you. You tell us we'll make out we get a deal to all your clients right now.
Ain't no deal. Look. Wait, yeah, I'm talking about your followers. Who's on right now? Three. Trainer God. Trainer God just bought three books.
There you go. There you go.
Tap in with
Tap
her.
in.
It's
Tap
on
in.
me.
Get it.
Tap
Get
in with
yours.
her.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, I love you. I love it. I love it. Can't wait to see you again. So happy you're part of our family. For those of you who are
Likewise.
watching, we'll be right back here next week with Wisdom Wednesday. I'm talking about everlasting intimacy. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you soon.